Before ramping up production following the early months of the pandemic, the U.S. had a national shortage of personal protective equipment such as masks and gloves. Now, American automakers struggle to find semiconductor chips to keep assembly lines moving. These are among the issues President Joe Biden wants to address through an executive order for a 100-day government review of global supply chains and potential U.S. vulnerabilities in key industries, including electric vehicle batteries, semiconductors, critical minerals used in electronics, and pharmaceuticals.
These reviews will identify policy recommendations to fortify our supply chains at every step, and critically to start implementing those recommendations right away.
Biden's order will also direct year-long reviews in the defense sector, public health, transportation, energy, information technology, and food production. The review can help U.S. companies invest strategically and become more agile during a crisis.
The key is, particularly with dramatic change or rapid change, you've got to do a good job of forecasting, and you got to think holistically. You got to look at the entire sort of life cycle of the operation.
While the executive order does not mention any country, the U.S. is particularly dependent on China in many critical industries and for rare earth minerals needed to make everything from consumer electronics to military equipment.
That is not a good spot to be in. Having said that, I think to just say we're just focused on China is really short-sighted. And I think that this policy really looks at a really broad picture in terms of U.S. production, manufacture, economy. So it's not just China.
The Trump administration also pushed to shore up supply chains, mostly through tax cuts, to encourage American firms to manufacture domestically and import tariffs. Biden's strategy is different, says Sameera Fazili, Deputy Director of the White House National Economic Council.
This work is not going to be about America going it alone. The answer to these weaknesses is not always to ramp up domestic production.
These little chips here for automobiles.
On Wednesday, Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris also met with lawmakers at the White House in order to garner bipartisan support to ensure supply chain resiliency. Fazili, VOA News.
John